Hi, everyone. We are beginning in about 2 to 3 minutes. So hold the line and just, a couple of minutes. Mhm. Just 2 more minutes and we are beginning right now. What about now? What about now? I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. There was a problem with my mic. Okay, I'm beginning again. Since apparently you weren't capable of listening to anything. Okay, so I am beginning again. Okay, so welcome to this Meaning Cloud webinar. And the subject today, the title is Artificial Intelligence for Human Resources. And we are focusing on text-based sources, which is our specialty. Let me introduce a little bit about myself. Okay, my name is Eduardo Valencia. I am a data analytics manager with a long experience in the area of human resources. Okay, I am the author of 3 books. One is People Analytics that I published only recently, and there is an older one called Data Coaching. I also write regularly, post blogs about the area of people analytics, data analytics, etc. In fact, in the 20th century, I was a linguist, which is very convenient nowadays since we are talking about text-based sources. I am New York-based right now, and in addition to that, there is also recently published as well a whole course called Natural Language Processing for Human Resources with 3 modules. And it is okay. You have got you will have the presentation today available in 24 hours before the end of this week, at any rate. So you can see the links to that. So Meaning Cloud has published also a whole course on this subject of natural language processing, which is the equivalent of text analytics for human resources. And last, also, I am the director of on-campus, okay, only in Madrid, for some master in people analytics, in which we teach human people from human resources, from human resource department, from HR departments, how to become analysts, how to use data and analytics to extract value from HR data. Okay. So we, of course, we encourage your participation, and let me see. Yeah. So you could be writing any answer, any question you want, anytime. We are gathering all of them, and at the end of the webinar, we will be answering those questions the best we can. Okay, so we will have like 10 minutes or over 10 minutes, depending on my speed, so that we can answer those questions. Also, there is the possibility of you have got it here, of raising your hand. Okay, this is the icon you have got here, and we will enable your mic so that you can address the whole audience. Okay, so this will be at the end of the webinar. So what's the agenda today? Okay, the agenda today is made up of course, artificial intelligence itself. We are focusing on text analytics, text-based sources. And the first half of it will be about artificial intelligence and the reasons. Let's understand the benefits of going with artificial intelligence, with text-based sources for human resources. Then we will be using a couple of live demos so that you can figure out how to use it immediately with Meaning Cloud, how to use those things we are talking about with Meaning Cloud in an easy way. Okay, there are always instructions and posts, etc., but I am trying to show it to you live. And finally, questions and answers. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's begin with a definition of artificial intelligence. There are always more than one definition, and we have got 2 of them. They are very related. Okay, so artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer program or a machine to think and learn. That's why it's intelligent. And artificial intelligence is the replication of human intelligence in computers. So both are related. But let's begin telling you the most somber stories about artificial intelligence. You might know this man here with Elon Musk, and his views about artificial intelligence are very pessimistic. So he said once, robots will take your jobs. Government will have to pay your wages. Okay? So this is rather somber, rather pessimistic. And also that's worse. So this is artificial intelligence is a threat to humankind. He says, Elon says that it could even cause World War III. So he even says that it's more dangerous than North Korea. And if you see, okay, so you might see like this image, which is the apocalypse. This is a factory in which you can see no human being working. And this is the scenario we are depicting. The only problem with this image, by the way, is that this is an image from Tesla. So this is this is a picture taken. Oh no, there is one guy over here. I can see like one, maybe this Mr. Musk. So this is an image of Tesla. So this is the way Tesla is right now. So it's made up of robots. So maybe when he talks about the threat of robots, he knows what he's talking about. In fact, okay, our view is slightly different from that. To begin with, we see that there are two different types of artificial intelligence. One in which HR people are the ones that try to solve problems using algorithms, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So it's the HR people, the ones who use those algorithms, artificial intelligence to solve the real problems. And there is also the other way around. You can run artificial intelligence like with no control, just the algorithms themselves are running, and let's see what they discover. Okay, so good artificial intelligence is when you, the people at in HR departments, direct that in order to obtain a benefit, and the other way around would be wrong. In fact, we have also published, you can see that slide there. You can see also what's our view about what we should always take into account, especially in HR departments, since we are working with real people, and our activity in human resources has consequences. We consider that you have to have into account always three conditions for applying an algorithm, which is very related to artificial intelligence. Okay, so you have to understand causes. You have to understand why this happened. Okay, artificial intelligence might help you understand why people leave your company, how they could be more loyal, how to see or foresee or predict the performance of a worker. But you have to understand causes. Okay, it's not enough to say, okay, those people are more likely to leave the company, but let's understand why this happens. Also, anticipate consequences. That's very important. So some algorithms will allow you to understand what happens and will help you forecast and foresee what the consequences are. Because we have to be very careful what we do with what algorithms might eventually decide. So we should to anticipate those consequences. And also, this is also the third point. Whenever not all the workers, but only some of them are affected by our explanations, by our algorithms, by our actions, we should explain that to stakeholders, especially to the people that are affected by our actions. Okay, so this is our view on that. Okay, so we anticipated that we were talking about unstructured data, which in our case is text-based sources. So 80% of business relevant and HR relevant information is made up of text. That's very important because there's such amount of information that we have got a great opportunity to leverage that information in order to understand why things happen and in order to help our organization. And there is a problem. Okay, the information, the amount of information is so huge that human beings are not capable very often to analyze all that information. That's why natural language processing, text analytics, text-based artificial intelligence can help go through all those massive amounts of informations, and that's why NLP, which is natural language processing, is a subdiscipline of artificial intelligence because our machines are capable of understanding human voice, human texts, the same way as human beings do, but they can do it like in a scale. So that's the main benefit of using artificial intelligence. So natural language processing, which is the equivalent for us, like text-based artificial intelligence, is the ability of machines to understand and interpret human language the way human beings do. That's why it's artificial, but it's intelligence. Okay, we regularly work with something like that. I am explaining this to you. But this is something, this map happens like every time. So very often we gather texts, like for instance, like text written by employees on social networks, surveys, for instance. So this is our source. It might be like the source of information we use. We gather that, take it to a database, and then the semantic platforms, which is the artificial intelligence point, will go through all those massive amounts of text and will be capable of classifying, tagging, and also add sentiment analysis. We will be seeing something of that. So it goes back like structure. This is unstructured data is human text, human language, as it is in a raw state, the way we write, the way we talk. And so the machine is capable of understanding good things, it's adding tags, it's talking about this and this and this, it's classifying the type of text, it's telling us about the sentiment of the workers, of the employees there. And also sometimes it is these small circles here refer to other structured data that we might add to our analysis, eventually to reach this dashboards, queries, further queries, or alerts. Okay, this is regularly the way we work. So let me go through the reasons why we need natural language processing in HR departments. To begin with, okay, reason number one, we humans are rather talkative. It means we write hundreds, thousands of lines of text on social networks, both in company and on public social networks. And as we said before, as 80% of the meaningful information is written is text, so we have to go through all that. So natural language processing is helping us processing all that information and extracting value from them, extracting insights. Let me see. Yeah, this is reason number one. Reason number two, chatbots. Okay, let's stop here. Chatbots are things like you might know Siri and Cortana, etc. But more and more companies are using chatbots in HR departments in order to relieve HR people from being the ones that have to answer all the questions whenever any change happens at a company. Okay, imagine you have got a new compensation. Compensations are typical of that. Okay, so compensations, whenever we have got new scheme for compensations, people would go pick up the phone and call the HR department in order to obtain answers, but chatbots can help a lot with that and can relieve HR departments from the burden, from the weight, from the time spent like answering questions. So this is something that chatbot, which is a machine that regularly it works like with human voices. It might be like only by written, but it's helping a lot of HR departments using artificial intelligence so that the machine is capable of answering the questions the way human beings could, the way the HR department people would answer them. Okay, open-ended questions, more and more. So imagine a survey. Okay, surveys are made up of structured questions, closed questions like rate from 1 to 10, what's your, okay, the performance of this colleague, for instance. But also, those surveys often include open-ended questions like, tell me why, or what would you suggest? How could we improve our organization? So people would write them in with their own language. And what happens very often is that whenever you have got those open-ended questions, and when your organization is big enough, people don't have the time to properly analyze that. And this is an example, okay, of a closed question. You may see that. Okay, this is the open question, the closed question. This is a typical image of an NPS, a Net Promoter Score, which also exists for human resources. And this is like the structured question. So rate from 1 to 10. You don't need natural language for that, natural language processing for that. But whenever you have got the open question, something that goes like this, what's the most important reason for that? What often happens, and we have seen that at many organizations, is that people don't have the time to analyze it, which is a pity because people want to be listened to. And there are very important questions that are solved like that. It's not only how important is this from 1 to 10, it's also understanding the whys. Why does it happen? So also, this is what we are talking about. If we don't listen to what people say to us, we are losing very meaningful information. So we should be paying attention to that. Also, exit interviews. We will be seeing that exit interviews in a world where loyalty is important from the point of view of workers. Okay, understand it's too late. We know. Exit interviews are the ones that happen once an employee leaves the organization, and so we interview them and okay, we write down the answers. Okay, so why did you leave? What's your problem, etc. We should go through all of them. We should extract meaningful information from them in order to learn why, so that we can improve our organization. In fact, so these are the what we can gather from an exit survey. Like, what are the main reasons for leaving? What did you like most least about the organization? What, if improved, would have caused you to stay at the organization? Would you recommend the organization to others as a good place to work, etc.? So those kind of questions are the ones written in those exit surveys and the ones that we can analyze with machines once we have got hundreds of thousands of them. So resumes, okay, at some organizations, you have got thousands of resumes to read, and machines can help you go through all that massive source of information so that you can filter those who are meaningful, those who are very likely to be of some use to you. So machines can do that. Finally, there are some other tricks that you might be using with natural language processing. For instance, automatic summarization, which is summaries, okay? Summaries of different documents. It might be applied to human resources, it might be applied to, in reality, to any part of an organization. But the machine, instead of the whole document, can have like a small paragraph summarizing the important information about anything. So it's something very convenient, something at which machines are good. Text to speech, for instance, you can use it. Imagine you have got a course and you are not ready to record it. You might use text to speech. You write the text, but the speech, so the machines can easily read that text with something that's very, very similar to a human voice. See? Yeah, machine translation. Okay, whenever you have got other languages being involved, you can use machine translation. And finally, spell correctors. Okay, so let me mention a couple of them. So one is, okay, this is, as for English, I would recommend like Grammarly. And for Spanish, one that we have been developing for a long time, which is Stylus. I think I should add it to this deck of this presentation deck, so that you can see that this is for Spanish. In English, you have got Grammarly, which is well known, and it's mostly made up of artificial intelligence. Okay, it can discover patterns, and it's not only like is that part of my database. No, it's like more intelligent recommendations being applied to your text. Okay, so let me summarize what we have been talking about, because there will be a poll right now, so that I would love your answering those questions. So first, takeaways. Text makes up like 80% of the total information of a company, including HR resources. Chatbots are cool. They may be very convenient for the HR departments. Open-ended questions should be taken into account. It should be analyzed. Voice of the employee is a must. Okay, we should be listening to what people tell to us, because it's not only about structured data. The voice, the way people speak, which is natural language, is providing us with very valuable information. Don't forget the exit surveys, because they are most important, especially in contexts where talent is scarce, where we are, all the companies are fighting for getting the right talent for their companies, and try to be to create a safe environment for our employees. There are ways to read resumes when they are by thousands, by automatically using resume readers, so that they can filter the ones that are more likely to be convenient for your company. And also, that's miscellanea of nice tools like summarization, text-to-speech, machine translations, and correctors. Okay. Let me now do me a favor. Okay. So why don't you take this poll? Okay. Let me see how. Yeah. Let me see. So are you seeing? I would like you to vote for those. So those are, you might choose more than one of those answers. I see you are voting for them, and just don't feel okay. This is not the right answer. Just the one you want. Good. Okay. Wow. Oh, see, the participation is good. Okay, I guess that some elections in some countries would be happy if they had like 70, almost 70% of participation. I think it's enough. 1 minute's enough. Let me share with you the results of that. So this is by far our chatbots. I think that I solved them properly, and open-ended questions. That's very interesting. Okay, we have witnessed cases of firms, very big, large firms, that run those surveys, that whenever they have open-ended questions, they abandon that. Okay, they leave them untouched, or sometimes just take a sample of 1%. Imagine they have got 10,000 answers of a pretty big company. So they could take like 100, a human being would read 100 of them and just give the results of that sample. I think it's a pity. So that's open-ended questions. I think it's analyzing those open-ended questions is something that we should be taking into account. And also, chatbots are freeing resources from human resource departments, so that's good. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. Let me see. Yeah, so let's go now for some sort of demos of things that you might be doing right now with text analytics immediately, and try to solve immediate issues. Okay, to begin with, this is one of my favorite graphics to explain how we work with natural language processing. Okay, so this wedding cake is made up of different layers, and what's most important is that we begin always with machine learning, with artificial intelligence. That kind of, we run algorithms that go automatically to the text sources and extract some good stuff, okay, some insights, etc. So I mentioned this is the detail of the base of this wedding cake. So you obtain some good results only with algorithms, but there are also, in addition to that, the second layer. Okay, this is the big cake with those 4 layers. And we also apply what we call linguistic engineering or grammar engineering, which is adding rules, mostly grammar rules, so that we improve accuracy. Sometimes algorithms are not enough, and you have to add grammar-related rules so that you can improve accuracy. The final here, let me see, is about customization, both of them. So it's company specific or client side. Okay, so company or industry specific. Okay, we will be seeing that the models we use for human resources are specific of some areas, because the moment you customize those into something that's exactly the same linguistic domain, you are more likely to obtain better results. So that those layers of customization, of adapting your models, your way to interpret those texts to actually the industry you are dealing with, and actually the kind of task you are extracting information from, like, is that an exit survey? Is that something published on a social network? That's something that's important to improve the quality of the analysis. Okay, and let's go. Let me see. Yeah, we are going to. Let me see. Let's go to Meaning Cloud, and I'm showing to you things that you could be doing immediately with Meaning Cloud. Okay, so as I told you, there are 2. Okay, this is meaningcloud.com, and in products we have got one thing called vertical packs. Vertical packs are, okay, we deal with text analytics, but we obtain better results whenever we are capable of adapting or customizing our analysis to what we need. And in this case, we have got 2 vertical packs available. One is a voice of the customer. That's very important for most firms. It's about customers, but what we are interested in right now is voice of the employee. So I mentioned that the moment we customize our model to what we are really dealing with, we are improving our results. So we have got 3 models available. One is a performance review, which might be like any type of survey. Something that we call voice of employee, VOE stands for voice of employee. Organization, it's mostly about social networks, like maybe web forums, maybe open social networks. So, and people talk about their organizations. We are seeing an example of that. And also the exit interview, which at which we have we know that's providing good value. So those are 3 different models. Let us see how a model looks like, and then we will go for the demo. Okay, so this is a model. Okay, this is, let's see, this is it's available in English and Spanish, and you can see that we have got like a primary category and subcategory. It's code and label, but it might be like primary category and the second one. So this is the ones we have got um, for performance review, which happens very often, and performance reviews are part of most 360 degree surveys. And let me see, if we go to Meaning Cloud and we go to demos, there is one for voice of the employee. Aha. And we have got like examples to see how a machine like a semantic platform like Meaning Cloud can, okay, this is only small examples that we have got. So we paste the text here. This is a specific, you see, our 3 models are available here: performance review, organization, and exit interview. There are small examples. So we go for send. Let me see. Aha. Oh, it's taking it a little bit. But let me see. Okay, this is what we see, the models, and this is the result of that text. So this is, you see that we see the dimension, which is the first category, and the second level category. This is giving us like tagging. Okay, so it's telling us, it's classifying, it's a categorization of what they are talking about. He tackles the assigned tags with autonomy. This is a performance review, giving effective results, etc. Let us see the second one. You have got the here the demos, the live demo available with all the URL so that you can do it yourself anytime. And you have got, this is the one for organization, and those are the results. And also for an exit interview, he has a good job opportunity in the UK to work on projects. Those are real texts that we have used to provide with those information. You can try it yourself, and of course, you can use your own text for testing our semantic platform. What's important here, nevertheless, is that, okay, we have got like tagging. Okay, so the machine is capable of telling us that it's talking about a job offer, which is the reason why they quit the organization, it's a new experience, etc., etc. So that's enough to give us some information about what's happening. But there is something very important that I miss here. And what I miss is the sentiment analysis, okay, which is not available right here, but we can gather from a different point. So, you know, we have got an Excel-based add-in that allows us, let me see, if we can see, yeah. This is an example. We might copy and paste the text we want to deal with, and those are actual examples taken from a Walmart forum in which ex workers assess their experience with Walmart and with other firms as well. So we have gathered all those texts, and here at Meaning Cloud we have got a plugin for Excel, an add-on that you can use and you can add to your Excel, and that add-on, once configured, will send the text to Meaning Cloud and return them like this to you with, look, this is the original text. I've worked at 2 different Walmart stores and have found that the management does not care about the actual employee, only that the employee is present for work. Okay, this is the text the way it is. So this Excel plugin, which is very convenient and very easy, just I am telling you, not explaining every single step you need, because there are also, we have already published okay, a couple of posts which step by step is explaining to you how you should work with that. Okay, so we have got dimension and label, which is the first layer, second layer, and also polarity. This is the sentiment analysis. So it's evaluating the if this is positive, negative, etc., of every single label, which is the second. It's not only the whole text. The whole text might be negative or positive, but we are assessing here every single point they talk about. So this is something that is providing us with very valuable information. Okay, and since this is Excel, you can go and draw a number of graphics and number of good information that you can turn into a dashboard. And there is if you see, let me see, we have got references. Okay, you have got here the URLs, but I am showing to you from, so you will have all that, and step by step to follow this easily so that you can do this on your own. Okay, so let us see just the type of thing that we could be doing. Okay, so we can be doing, for instance, those are examples. In fact, in that post, you have got like 10 different, pretty practical graphics that you can easily draw using Excel once you have analyzed texts from any type of model we are using at Meaning Cloud. So for instance, you can count, this is the count of those texts from Walmart, and say how many of them are positive, very positive. This is very positive. This is this green, and positive, very good. Neutral, very bad, and bad. Okay, negative and very negative. So this is a rough idea. You can see a rough idea of that. Okay, the texts are positive. This is counting labels, which is the second degree of information, and you might see that okay, this employee satisfaction is the main subject, also training. What do they talk about? That's important also. Best categories, so there is a way to calculate, okay, since we have got a sentiment analysis, we make the most of that, we leverage that to obtain the best categories. Okay, so it's not only holidays, but it is something that's good. So they are talking about, this is about this subject, holidays or premises or benefits, and their valuation is very good. So they are the best valued, because we can afford that, the best valued subject. It's not only that they can about holidays with what I understand here is that their view on holidays is good for Walmart, and premises, they are satisfied with that, and benefits. Okay, and on the other hand, what's worse is this. This is the worst possible communication. So they talk about communication, but in a bad way. And they talk about training in a bad way, and they talk about staff in a bad way. So this is what I gather. And since this is a new type of, this is something that works with some versions only of Excel, but you can see subjects and sub-subjects of the things they talk about. And finally, this is the way it looks when you have got a dashboard, okay? A complete dashboard with all the single graphics we have got here, and you can follow like that. So it's easy to draw one dashboard containing text-based sources and artificial intelligence. Okay, so that's what we are showing to you. And don't worry about my explanation being too short, because you have got step-by-step instructions here. Also, I have to recommend you a previous webinar by my colleague Antonio Matarrans, who is about vertical packs. He mentions voice of the employee, but also he focuses mostly on voice of the customer. And this is something that I have to recommend to you. Okay, so you can see that this is what you are gathering. So you might see the even more graphics than the ones I have shown to you. And this is the time for questions and answers. So as I told you, there are questions that you have already written here, and that's good. And also, it's a right time for writing more questions, and for if in case you want to be listened to, just you have got raise your hand so that the audience listens to you. But do not hesitate to ask your questions here. We are selecting, I am giving you some minutes to write your questions, and then I will be answering them, okay? So it's, I am stopping my talk for a little while. Okay, it's time to show my image again. Okay, my video. Wow, there are a lot of questions. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Okay, let's go with the first question. The first question, that's, yeah, yes. Oops, yeah. SSS, okay. Okay, the first question is about sentiment analysis. And this is a tricky question. Someone asks if our sentiment analysis tool is a black box. Okay, I've been complaining about black boxes, and yeah, okay, I guess there's no proper explanation of how it works. We use algorithms and text and grammar based rules like morphosyntactic analysis, etc., to improve our sentiment analysis. But you also ask about if there is a possibility of modifying, of customizing our sentiment analysis. And the answer is yes. Customizing goes for about every single step of our work at Meaning Cloud. So you can, you have got parameters to customize sentiment analysis the same as you customize tagging or classification. So you let algorithms run on the first hand, but then we must say that, you know, at our organization, this word is negative or positive or means this or that. So this is something that we could be doing like that. Okay. Yeah, there are. Let me see. There is a question also about if this is an software as a service tool, and then the answer is yes. Okay, so it's an API based solution. So you just, it's the way it works with Excel, may work with other sources as well. So there are easy ways to send the information to that and to our service, to our servers, and then you get the information or in Excel or via PHP, Java, etc. So on the other hand, we have got a compromise, not whether this confidentiality is 100%. We do not keep that information at any rate. And also, in some cases, it's important to know that we have got like in-company based servers. In some cases, whenever the information cannot at any rate be taken out of the company, we have got like our own servers running inside a company, so that you don't have any risk from that point of view. To tell you the truth, it's happening less and less. People trust this kind of solution, including banks, or partially some of their information remains in their company. Some can be easily and safely sent to a software as a service solution like Meaning Cloud. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. This is a question about languages. Okay. Whenever you have got more than one companies that work in different countries, we are dealing with natural language, which happens in different languages. So the scope of languages we deal with is limited to, it might be like, okay, it's good at Spanish, English, French, Catalan, Italian, Portuguese, and we have, with different degrees, also added some up to 20 more languages, including Russian, Chinese, etc. But the level of accuracy of some languages is more obvious than two other ones. So we are very good at English, very good at, we're very good at Spanish, and I would say 4 other languages, including Italian and French, etc. And we take, like, it's more of an effort to deal with, for instance, Russian and Chinese, but we are improving that. So we might safely deal with okay, a good amount of languages. We work regularly with as many as 20 with different degrees of accuracy. That would be the answer. There is a final question before saying goodbye to you. And this is about the difference between natural language processing for IBM Watson, for instance, or versus our own. Okay, the purpose is the same. Okay, we are both dealing with natural language. And I would say, okay, allow me to be a little bit partial with that. Okay, IBM Watson is very good, can be good at, especially at English, not so good at Spanish, sometimes the difference in languages. We compete at with them in some for some customers. And to tell you the truth, it happens often that okay, we are a company 100% based on text analytics. We have been working at text analytics since 1998, in the 20th century, and our focus is on we are focused on developing a semantic platform. So we are all about linguistics, all about language. So that's what makes us sometimes a good partner for whenever text-based sources for artificial intelligence is the task we should be working with. Okay, so yeah, this is let me see. This is about it. So this is, you have got the references here. And finally, before we end, first you should know that, okay, thank you, of course, for being, okay, this is the attendees, the people that say to the very end, not a good amount of them. So first, we are sending to you the first that presentation, this presentation, and also with the recorded, the one you are watching right now. We are sending that to you along with a small blog post, which is the regular syntax we use for that. So thanks a lot, and we have got okay. In case you have any doubts, you have got our references over there in the presentation, contact info or our contact emails on Meaning Cloud, and we will be only delighted to answer to you. Okay, thanks a lot, and see you next time with at one of those webinars. Thanks a lot. Bye.